Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Queen Elizabeth, A Day in Her Life. It's time for the royal news, so let's see what's been happening around the date of April the 9th, 2025. And the first story comes from the City News Everywhere, dated April the 9th, 2025. King Charles III's fairy tale isn't the one we remember as marriage to Camilla reaches 20-year mark. It's a fairy tale romance. There was a lavish wedding, a kiss on the balcony of Buckingham Palace, cheers from the adoring throngs below. Wait, that's the wrong story. The right one is much more, complicated. King Charles III and Queen Camilla met more than 50 years ago, but their romance had to survive meddling families, marriages to other people, and no small amount of public ridicule before they finally married. On Wednesday, the royal couple celebrate their 20th anniversary, a milestone made all the more remarkable by the fact that for so long their love story was overshadowed by the fairy tale princess who came before Camilla. "We miss the love story, there's no doubt about it," said Sally Bedell Smith, author of Prince Charles, The Passions and Paradoxes of an Improbable Life. But in fairness, it was not something that was very visible. It's a long story. The road between the time they met in the 1970s and their marriage April 9th, 2005, was rocky. Charles, then a young naval officer, fell in love, but was soon sent to sea for 8 months. While he was away, Camilla accepted the proposal of a dashing cavalry officer. But they remained friends, even as Charles's courtship and marriage to Lady Diana Spencer played out before an adoring nation in 1981. And they were more than friends when both of their marriages crumbled in the mid-1990s. Many in Britain blamed Camilla for the extramarital affair that torpedoed his marriage to Diana, the glamorous young mother of Prince William and Harry, who was adored for her style and the human touch she brought to her charity work. That resentment flared when the People's Princess died in a Paris car crash in 1997, 5 years after her messy public split from Charles. The crash thrust Camilla back into the shadows. Over time, she was slowly reintroduced to the public, starting with a 1999 event where she and Charles made their first public appearance as a couple. There were meetings with Queen Elizabeth II as well as with William and Harry. Still, there were questions. Should a divorced man be king? Could Camilla ever be queen? But eventually the time was right. A quiet wedding. The union came on April the 9th, 2005, in a modest civil ceremony in Windsor, just down the road from the 1,000-year-old castle that is second home for the British royals. Instead of having the pageantry that marked Charles's wedding to Diana, an extravaganza watched by millions around the world, Britain got a union between 50-something divorcees. The bride wore a cream silk chiffon dress and matching coat with a lace-trimmed straw hat. The groom wore a black tailcoat and gray tie. William and Harry attended, as did Camilla's 2 children. In total, there were 30 guests. The blessing ceremony at the Castle St. George's Chapel later that day was attended by 800 people, including the groom's parents, Elizabeth and Prince Philip. There were a few boos from the crowd, presumably from Diana fans, but mostly cheers. One banner read, "Let he who is without sin cast the first stone." There were waves, but no kiss. A lasting union. The union has now lasted 5 years longer than Charles's marriage to Diana, and shows no signs of faltering. Julie Gottman, co-founder of the Gottman Institute, which studies relationships, said Charles and Camilla appeared to embody many of the characteristics needed for a strong marriage: trust, commitment, and a sense of shared purpose. Before anything, they had a friendship, she said, and when you have a relationship in which friendship is the foundation, you're much more likely to really succeed in marriage and a committed relationship because that foundation is already there. The public mood has continued to soften in the years since Charles married the woman known as Camilla Parker Bowles. Camilla, 77, has taken on roles at almost 100 charities, championing issues that range from promoting literacy to supporting victims of domestic violence and fighting child sexual exploitation. Some of her causes push the boundaries of the royal family, known for supporting worthy but non-controversial charities. For the public, it seemed as if she was in touch with the modern world. Her style is down to earth, her sense of humor self-deprecating. Just like Charles, she loves dogs and horses. More to the point, she seems to make the king happy. Strength and stay. George Gross, a royal historian at King's College London, said the relationship reminds him of that between Charles's parents. Elizabeth described Philip as her strength and stay in her golden wedding anniversary speech, recognizing his unwavering support and partnership throughout their 70-year marriage and her long reign. I think they have managed to find this way of making it work, and I do think feeding off each other in this strength of resilience, because I think you have to be resilient. And if you count the number of, in fact, it's very difficult to count, the number of engagements they do every year multiplied by those 20 years of marriage, it's thousands, Gross said. The relationship has been further challenged by Charles's cancer diagnosis. The king briefly canceled his public engagements for more than 2 months last year, after revealing that he was undergoing treatment for an undisclosed form of cancer. Camilla stepped lightly into the void, increasing her appearances and taking on the all-important role of keeping the royal family in public eye. Camilla has helped pick up the slack, demonstrating the importance of her rehabilitation to Charles and the royal family. And when Charles resumed his duties, Camilla took a few steps back, not into the shadows exactly, but far enough to make sure the spotlight shined on Charles. That suggests something else about Camilla that helped make the relationship a success, Gottman said. My guess is that it wasn't about becoming queen, she said. That wasn't it. What she wanted all along was to be his true love and mate. The second story comes from the New York Post, dated April 8, 2025. King Charles and Queen Camilla visit the Colosseum during their state visit to Italy. And this is by Nika Shakanazarova. When in Rome, King Charles and Queen Camilla spent their first few hours in Italy by visiting the iconic Colosseum. Upon the arrival, the monarch 76 and his wife 77 were greeted by Italy's Minister in Culture, Alessandro Gulli, and Director of the Archaeological Park in the Colosseum, Alfonso Russo. The royal couple, who will celebrate their 20th wedding anniversary Wednesday, later met members of the public outside the historic landmark. Their outing was soundtracked by live music played by the band of Welsh Guards and the Sassari Brigade Band, the military band of the Italian army. While there, the duo waved to the crowd of well-wishers below before meeting the Italian President Sergio Mattarella and his daughter, First Lady Laura Mattarella, at the Quarnari Palace. Charles and Camilla then viewed an impressive flypast helmed by the Italian Air Force and Royal Air Force's Red Arrows. Afterwards, they laid a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier War Memorial at Aldare della Patria in Piazza Venezia, in a poignant moment for the couple. The third story comes from People. Prince William hires Princess Diana's lawyers, and a surprising break from King Charles. And this is dated April the 4th, 2025. The Prince of Wales hired the lawyers who represented his mother, Princess Diana, in her divorce from King Charles. A source told Richard Eden of the Daily Mail William wanted to strike out on his own. He didn't want to continue using his father's lawyers. It's as simple as that. He wants to be his own man. A source described as a friend added, William wants to do things differently from his father and wants to be seen to do them differently, according to the outlet. A spokesman for the Williams office at Kensington Palace declined to comment to the outlet. Prince William made the move away from King Charles's longtime legal team, Harbottle and Lewis, and its partner, Gerard Terrell, for Mishcon de Raya, which represented Princess Diana in her divorce from then Prince Charles. The divorce was finalized in 1996, 1 year before Diana died in a Paris car crash when she was 36. Harbottle and Lewis represented the British royal family during the 2006 News of the World scandal, which found that the newspaper took part in illegal phone hacking, targeting voicemails of high-profile individuals, including Prince William and Prince Harry. And the case led to the outlet's closure. Prince William has previously spoken about how he wanted to bring his own stamp to the monarchy. Speaking with the BBC in November 2024, the Prince of Wales said, I can only describe what I'm trying to do, and that's I'm trying to do it differently, and I'm trying to do it for my generation, and to give you more of an understanding around it. I'm doing it with maybe a smaller R in the royal, if you like. That's maybe a better way of saying it. The last story comes from Fox News, and it's dated April the 9th, 2025. King Charles, Queen Camilla's unconventional bedroom arrangement is secret sauce to staying together. Expert. And this is by Bree Stimson and Stephanie Nolasco and Ashley Papa, Fox News. They have known each other since they were very young and great friends. There is no competitive edge between King Charles and Queen Camilla, British broadcaster and photographer Helena Chard told the Fox News Digital. Devoted Queen Camilla totally supports her husband he carries out, although she would like him to slow down work-wise slightly. Chard added, they have also sussed out the best sleeping arrangements. At Clarence House, they are both privileged to have their own bedrooms, as well as their shared bedroom. Not only do the couple have separate bedrooms, but they also stay in separate homes for some healthy alone time on occasion, according to the royal experts. Chard told Fox Digital News, they're both independent people. They don't live in each other's pockets, spending a healthy chunk of their time apart in their country homes. She added, Camilla enjoys time with her many friends and family, and Charles values private work and creative time. Royal biographer and Majesty Magazine editor-in-chief Ingrid Seward said, the couple actually spends quite a lot of time apart, with Camilla going to her country home, Ray Hill, in Wiltshire, each weekend, according to The Sun. The home is Camilla's sort of release from royal life, if you like, Seward said. Before she married Charles, she made a pact with him that would keep Ray Mill House as her bolt hole. She goes every weekend when she can, and she goes during the summer so she can spend some time with her grandchildren and her children, and it's something that's away from the whole royal world. Seward said that Camilla often doesn't go with the king to his Gloucester estate, Highgrove, at all, unless she and Charles are entertaining together. She said that Camilla escapes to Wiltshire because she needed somewhere where she could actually relax and just be herself and slope around in dirty jeans if she wanted to and not be constantly monitored. Charles likewise will often go to Highgrove or Sandringham while she's at Ray Mill, but they will spend the week together in London and Clarence House. The royal couple is celebrating their 20th anniversary this week, and they shared photos during their state visit to Italy, looking loved up during a photo shoot at the villa in Rome. As we begin our first visit to Italy as king and queen, we are so looking forward to celebrating our 20th wedding anniversary in such a special place and with such special people. A presto, Roma e Ravenna. The couple shared their royal family social media account on Monday. Charles and Camilla married on April 2, 2005, after decades of forbidden love. Charles and Camilla's colorful love story began in the 70s, although they didn't tie the knot until 2005. Chard told the Fox News Digital, they're a match made in heaven and are celebrating 20 years of marital bliss. However, life wasn't always as peachy. She said Camilla was Charles's first love, but she married the British officer Andrew Parker Bowles in 1973, and Charles famously went on to marry Princess Diana in 1981. Their marriage was complex, fraught, full of trials and tribulations, Chard said. Trouble started brewing pretty much at the beginning of their marriage, largely due to a third person in their marriage, namely Camilla Parker Bowles. Scandal ensued, she added. She was loathed by the general public and named every negative, scathing name in the universe. She was known as the Rottweiler to the late Princess Diana. However, even Princess Diana eventually realized that Camilla was the only woman for Charles. She recognized that Camilla was Charles's rock. In a funny way, she made her peace with Camilla, as she recognized Camilla brought out the best in Charles. The late Queen Elizabeth II gave her blessing for Charles and Camilla to marry in 2005, which they did in a civil ceremony at Windsor Guildhall. Both of Charles's sons, William and Harry, attended their father's wedding. The Queen didn't attend the ceremony, but she and Prince Philip were at St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle for the Church of England service of prayer and dedication after the nuptials. They have come through, and I'm very proud and wish them well. My son is home and dry with the woman he loves, the Queen reportedly said at their wedding reception. The wedding came nearly a decade after Charles's divorce from Diana and her untimely death. Eventually, public sentiment toward Camilla softened. If a book was released about Charles and Camilla coming from scandal to well-respected monarchs, sharing tips on their now-perfect marriage, the book would fly off the shelves, Chard joked. Everyone is after a bit of their special gold dust, and as such, it is definitely the hot topic of conversation. She added, everyone that comes into contact with Queen Camilla mentions what a lovely, big-hearted, generous person she is. She is a strong, straightforward character and gets on with things without fuss. She is known for her great conversational skills and has similar ethos to King Charles. She wants everyone to feel included and part of the bigger picture. At private and public events, she makes sure she engages in a relaxed fashion with as many people as possible and always takes time to wave and smile at the camera. Royal expert Richard Fitzwilliams called the relationship a marriage of two minds. Over the 5 decades since they first met in 1970, they have experienced so many highs and lows together, and this last year must surely have been brutal, to use Prince William's descriptive term for a year in which he and Catherine were diagnosed with cancer, he told Fox News Digital. Fitzwilliams said that it's commonly accepted that they have both benefited enormously from being of the same age, sharing the same sense of humor, having the same friends, and broadly a similar outlook on life. Royal expert Hilary Fordwich told Fox News Digital that the couple's relationship had navigated a remarkable, highly orchestrated journey from scandal-plagued beginnings and public loathings to their current roles as appreciated sovereigns. What they shared, especially in those early years, but what has also endured, are their mutual love of horse country life, rural passions in general, with her earthy humor bringing him down to earth, she said. To this day, they maintain separate residences, Clarence House and Ray Mill, while presenting a united public front. Perhaps this unusual domestic separation has assured their endurance. Well, I'm going to end the video here. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, if you could give it a thumbs up, it would be greatly appreciated. But more importantly, I want to wish everyone a good day, and tune in again soon to the Royal News. Thank you. Bye.